How's it going, guys? So for those of you who haven't heard the news, Baruch, Dayan, and Emet, Dr. Zelenko, or Zev, I believe it's Velvel, Wolf, Zev Ben, now it's Ben Aharon, Alexander Aharon, went back to Hashem. You know, people like this come along every once in a while, very rarely, to the world, you know, to fulfill a mission in the world. You know, I'm sure he knew that a lot of people were davening for him, but it was like a lot of people. It was a lot of people. People that I knew, people that I didn't know, Jews, non-Jews. Hundreds of thousands of people were davening for Dr. Zelenko. And the crazy part is, guys, is that, you know, I just tweeted out, and I tagged a few people, you know, activists here in Israel, that, you know, Dr. Zelenko went back to Hashem. That's how I worded it. I said, Dr. Zelenko went back to Hashem, and, you know, Baruch, Dayan, and Emet. You know, and I'll tell you guys something, like, again, America really turned this into a left versus right issue, a political issue, and which is stupid, because the people who are the activists here in Israel are not right-wing, for sure. Some of them are like lefties, or just, you know, apolitical, I guess you could say, or not aligned with anything really. And it's crazy. Like, it's almost as if this entire COVID schmovid experience and this entire whole thing with, you know, Dr. Zelenko, who's like a visible, you know, Torah Jew, visible Orthodox Jew, Lubavitcher, you know, if you want to say that, and secular Jews, secular Israelis were like, you know, supporting him and following him and aligned with the whole, you know, everybody became like allies really in one cause, which is basically, when you slice it down to the nitty gritty, it's a spiritual battle. It's not just like a political or, you know, activism against medical tyranny kind of thing. It's a spiritual battle, you know. Yeah, my friend Hanania Weissman giving a speech, and there were like secular Israelis and all kinds of people from all different walks of life over there. You know, it's not about kippahs, it's not about any of these things. I mean, you know, if you're from Jew, you should wear a kippah, but it's not. This was probably the best kiruv that I have seen in my life. Guys, no offense to any rabbis or anybody working with so-called kiruv organizations. This whole thing during COVID with Dr. Zelenko and who came out in public and you know, had like secular Israelis who know about him. This was the biggest kiruv, a bigger kiruv than Rabbi Zamir Cohen could do, than, you know, blessed memory Ur Zohar could ever do, maybe. Like, when you get to people at the most basic level, and you get them to understand that what they're going through is a spiritual war against a very, very evil entity, then that's really what it is. That's really what it's all about. My friend says Steve Bannon has been devoting a lot of his afternoon to Zev's memory. Listen, Brian, I'll tell you something. I heard from Rabbi Kessin something I never heard before. When Orange Man won in 2016, he was, you know, obviously he was shocked. Rabbi Kessin knows a Jew, I guess a Jew, who was there in the room among them. And he said that Orange Man and Bannon went in the corner of, respective corners of the room, and they cried. You're talking about people who are supposedly, allegedly, what do the leftists say about them? Heartless and this and evil and that. People, they cried. They cried out of the, well, probably out of happiness, but also the responsibility and the shock and the weight of the moment. They cried because it's a big weight. It's not like, they weren't jumping up and down and, screaming and cheering and saying, "Na na 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 na, I won." They cried. So I'm not surprised that he's talking about Dr. Zelenko today. Yeah, listen, I had the merit, my friend Faye is saying that she's crying. I had the schut to interview him twice. One interview, I really tried to kind of, Dr. Zelenko would do a thing where for about a month or two, he would craft kind of a message and he would just kind of repeat it, So what I tried to do was, instead of having him kind of repeat his message, or maybe like, I'd let him repeat his message, but what I tried to do was kind of lead him down a path of like what I was trying to draw out of him. So one of the things was, interviews was more like I tried to talk to him about the Kabbalistic aspect of this whole situation, Hasidut, Kabbalah, the deeper aspects. Another interview we really went into his stuff, which was, we called it, conspiracy realism, instead of, he used to call it, he had a phrase, a conspiracy realism, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, I will for sure post the interviews with him, for sure. They're both on Rumble, obviously. Yeah. And so, yeah, we had Kabbalah of COVID and we had conspiracy realism. And, listen, he gave interviews to big people, but he really it was funny because Frank always says, I can't reach my brother. It's very difficult to get him. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him on the, for you to interview him. And I don't know if he has the time. He's busy with this, busy with that. He used to be interviewed by like all these big, he was interviewed by New York Times at one point. Bannon interviewed him. There was all these other people, kind of big people in the, so to speak, in the magosphere who interviewed him. And then he gave little old me, literally little old me, an hour of his time. And then I remember we did the whole thing of on Zoom with my friend over here, who's around the corner, Lowell Gallon. And actually, Lowell gave me the schut again to fill in for Dr. Zelenko. Basically, I guess it looks like on a permanent basis. Myself and his brother on the medical seminar over here, Jerusalem, Root and Branch Jerusalem seminar. And yeah, listen, I'm just proud to be a part of this Dr. Zelenko's, I guess you could say, sphere. It's a sphere of a lot of special people. It's actually crazy, even this woman who totally went into him, and some Jewish crazy lady. And I remember her writing even listen, I don't even, on Twitter she wrote I don't even agree with, what he's doing in terms of medically, and we completely disagree, but I, even she wished him a refuah shlema. She's like, I'm just wishing her refuah shlema for another yid, So all the crazy nonsense that she's doing, I really hope Hashem forgives her and at least she wished him a refuah. So that was that. Friends asking, how many big souls are we going to lose before Mashiach? Rabbi from Bnei Brak, an actor who became rabbi now. Yeah. Yeah, Uri Zohar. He was like the George Clooney of Israel and then became religious. Imagine that, right? That's crazy. It's crazy. Imagine George Clooney was Jewish and he was secular, and he's like, okay, I'm going to become a frum, Haredi Jew now, guys. I'm done with movies. I'm done with Hollywood. I'm done with all this insanity. I'm done with, Epstein and all this stuff. And I'm going to become whatever. Bannon is about to release a portrait of Dr. Z that he commissioned an artist to draw. Unbelievable. Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, my mother, I told her, the news. She said, people like this, they're only vindicated. They are only vindicated posthumously. They're vindicated after they leave this world, unfortunately. And I said, I hope he davens for all the evil to go away. I hope not davens. I hope he asks Hashem to make the evil go away. All the CDC and the WHO, FIDA, FDA, whatever. Yeah, I really hope he does that. I really hope that happens, my friends, because it's just enough already. It really is just enough. It's really just enough. And my friend is saying you start not feel well. Listen, when I got the news, my heart just like sank to my stomach, It went from like here to literally down here. So, I don't know what to say, I'm also numb, My friend is saying it's up to us to continue to spread the doctor's message. Yeah, guys, not just message, but it's up to us to really put the pedal to the metal now on these freaking people. We have to get upset. We have to get pissed off. Really, we have to get pissed off. We're not pissed off enough, We have to get upset. We have to get, we have to do like controlled anger, meaning like we have to harness and channel our anger into something that is focused and precision, like a precision guided missile. Anything to do for me and Frank. Listen, guys, I'm gonna find out very soon. The Levaya information, like funeral information, and also the what is it called? The shiva information. Obviously, for shiva you have like a minyanim. Kind of shachris min chamarev. Also, yeah. So I don't know where that's gonna be. I'm assuming Florida. So I'll let you guys know. I'm gonna post it on this page, all that information as soon as I get it, as soon as I find out. Because obviously, it's good to go. They say, if you have a choice between, if you have like on the same day, choice between a wedding or a funeral, what's the bigger mitzvah? It's a mitzvah to go to a funeral. It's also a bigger mitzvah to go to obviously you could do both. You could go to a shiva, but paying a shiva call is obviously something lo aleinu, but like it's something that's very big mitzvah. Going to a funeral, big mitzvah, and shiva call, big mitzvah, and minyan at a shiva, also big mitzvah. I'll tell you guys something. I went to a shiva of my friend's father, and we davened mincha maariv there, and it was one of the most powerful mincha maarivs I davened lately, like minyanim, and it was in America, but I felt like I was in Israel. It was very weird. And when it's people like that, people who affected a lot of people's lives, who leave us, especially leave us after a long, drawn out kind of medical situation. They finished their tikkun, I guess you could say, and now they are working from the other world to help us, down here. So, Mizrat Hashem, guys, Baruch Dayan Emet, to Velvel, Wolf, Zev, now Ben, I guess, Acharon. His father's name is Alexander, so I think somebody told me it was Acharon, Aaron. And may his neshama have an aliyah, and we should see the evil just go into oblivion, and we should see all these people, whatever nooses and gallows they prepared for us, they should be hanging from those. We should see a mass Purim, mass Haman situation. Haman and his sons and whoever else needs to, in reality. All right, guys. If I don't talk to you, Shabbat Shalom. And, yeah, keep on keeping on. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.